The movie begins with U.S. Navy SEA Yield, Lieutenant Shane Wolf gathering his men for a mission. They're getting ready to rescue a man named Howard Plummer, who is working on a top-secret government project from a group of Serbian rebels. Shane shows them Plummer's photo and explains the situation. He knows his team is tired, but he reminds them there is no room for mistakes. The enemies have a boat, 4 jet skis, and a helicopter. He gives each man a position to cover and encourages them to be strong. Following this discussion, the team moves into action. They dive into the water, following the boat and shooting at it, which causes the boat's electricity to fail and come to a sudden stop. The rest of the team surrounds the boat with water bikes, overwhelming the enemy. Shane emerges from the water and throws an explosive device into the boat. He then shoots at the helicopter, which crashes. Some soldiers board the boat to fight off the Serbians. Shane enters the room where Plummer is being held. Shane introduces himself and unties Plummer. He tells him he is here to save him and asks where the briefcase is. Plummer points to where it is and tells him what he went through. Shane takes out a tracking bracelet and places it on Plummer's wrist, telling him to follow his lead. Plummer, relieved that he has been saved, runs behind Shane. As they approach the helicopter, Plummer asks to call his family. Shane refuses, saying his priority is to get him out of there safely. But Plummer insists he needs to contact his family because they believe he is dead. Shane finally allows him to make the call. Plummer unlocks the briefcase with a password made up of his children's names. He then takes out a family photo and shows it to Shane. Shane, with his serious demeanor, ignores Plummer's excitement about his family photo and goes inside the helicopter to check if everything is ready. But when he speaks with the pilot doesn't respond. Shane touches the pilot and realizes that he is dead. Alarmed, Shane goes outside to call for Plummer, but is shot. 2 months later, Shane gets out of the hospital after being shot during the rescue mission. Unfortunately, Plummer did not survive the attack. Captain Bill visits Shane on his last day at the hospital. Shane blames himself for what happened to Plummer. Bill tries to comfort him and explains why the Serbians were so interested in Plummer. Plummer created a program he calls Ghost, an extremely powerful defense system. The project is meant to make enemy missiles useless, effectively working as an advanced missile interception system. The Serbians wanted the Ghost program for military reasons. It would give them a huge technological advantage or allow them to sell it to the highest bidder on the arms market. Captain Bill then tells Shane that Ghost is still out there, which is why he is sending him back. He is the only person he can trust, and he wants Shane to find it. After some hesitation, Shane agrees and tells the captain that he will gather his team, but the captain informs him that it's a high-priority mission he must complete alone. He describes the mission. Captain Bill is assigned to go with Plummer's widow, Julie, to Zurich, where a safety deposit box belonging to the Plumbers has been discovered. So, Shane is supposed to watch the kids while she is away in case the Serbians, who still believe Ghost is in the house, launch an attack. Along with babysitting, he is tasked with looking into the program. Shane packs his bags and heads to the Plumber's house. He knocks on the door, and the younger daughter, Lulu, opens it. When she sees Shane, she screams and closes the door. Soon after, Howard Plummer's widow, Julie Plummer, opens the door and welcomes him inside. Julie calls her children to greet Shane once he enters the house. The oldest daughter, Zoe, her younger brother, Seth, their younger sister, Lulu, their other brother, Peter, and their infant brother, Tyler, who is being held by his nanny, Helga, all come to greet Shane. After the greeting, Julie tells Shane that the children are having a difficult time after their father's death. She then tells him that someone broke into the house about a week ago, but she didn't say anything to avoid scaring the kids. As they talk, the family's pet duck bites Shane on the ear. Shane then goes outside to check the area and installs security cameras and cables throughout the house. Julie is finally ready to leave. She is in tears as she says goodbye to her children. Shane assures her that he will protect them and that there is nothing to worry about. After she leaves, Shane and the kids go into the house. As they walk in, Helga asks Shane if he has a license to kill. Shane says no, and she says it would have been helpful before walking toward the house. Later that night, while Shane is fixing a camera, he hears a loud noise and rushes downstairs. When he enters the living room, the noise is coming from Lulu's video game. He turns to see Seth peeking from behind the wall. Peter is standing inside a fish tank, throwing food at Helga, and Zoe is talking on the phone. Shane asks Helga why the children are not disciplined, but she ignores him. Shane then notices someone sneaking into the house and rushes outside. He sees a person in a hood climbing the ladder to the house and pulls him down. At the same time, Zoe runs out. It is her boyfriend, Scott. Their neighbors come out after hearing the alarm and complain about the noise. Shane apologizes and turns off the alarm. He then orders Scott to do 20 push-ups. Zoe storms inside the house, complaining that Scott will never talk to her again. Shane pushes her to her room and informs her that her plans are canceled. Shane wakes everyone the next morning at 6 a.m. Looking at the time, Seth refuses to get up, but Shane pushes him off the mattress. During breakfast, he tells them that the house will be different from before, and that they must respect his ways. Lulu begins copying him to annoy him, and then they begin arguing. Shane shows them his tracking device. He puts one on Tyler before turning to face Zoe. She refuses to wear it, but he makes her do so. He then realizes that Seth is not with them. He rushes upstairs, thinking something has gone wrong. He finds Seth's locked door and breaks it. Seth comes out of the bathroom, shocked at what Shane has done to his door. Shane tries to keep his cool after realizing his mistake, saying he can fix the door with a couple of nails, which only irritates Seth more. To make things worse, he places the tracking bracelet on Seth's hand and walks away. Later, while working out, he hears Lulu scream and goes to the bathroom to find Peter chasing her, looking like a ghost. Meanwhile, Seth and Zoe team up against Shane, smearing a liquid on the stairs to cause him to fall. But instead of him, Helga takes the stairs and falls down. Julie and Captain Bill are in Zurich having trouble getting the box. After a lengthy process of verifying their identity, the bank requests a password. Julie tries the ghost, but it is incorrect. Helga, frustrated by the children's pranks, decides to leave. Shane tries to stop her, but Helga is done with them and wants to go. As he is attempting to stop her, Julie calls and Shane is forced to speak with Julie while still trying to stop Helga from leaving. Julie calls to tell him she needs to stay in Zurich for a few days, and Shane, as if everything is fine, assures her he has everything under control. Helga eventually runs out of the house and gets into a taxi. Shane screams from behind, begging her to return, but Helga is firm. He returns to the house and announces a change of plans. He explains that their mother will not be returning for the time being. The kids complain that they all have things to do, but Shane assures them that they will handle it. During this conversation, Tyler soils his diaper. Shane asks who will change it, but everyone walks away, leaving him to deal with it. Shane struggles to change the diaper without knowing how, but he eventually succeeds. The next morning, Shane buys packed food for breakfast because no one is willing to cook. Peter then comes and pulls the tablecloth, spilling everything onto the floor. At the same time, the phone rings and Shane answers. It is the children's school principal. He informs him that if the kids are late again, they will be suspended. Shane packs everything Tyler needs and they head to the garage. He struggles to put on the baby belt behind the minivan, but eventually manages to do so. He then drives to school at high speed so that they won't be late. They head to the principal's office, where the principal is eagerly waiting for their arrival, looking at his watch. Shane introduces himself and tells the principal that he is watching the kids until their mother comes back. The principal starts telling Shane that the kids have missed lots of classes and that they are the worst students in the school. Suddenly, their conversation is interrupted when the real principal, Principal Claire, walks in. The person they are talking to is the vice principal. Claire tells the VP he can go and that she will take care of it. After he leaves, she turns her attention to the kids and tells them to go to class. She says she will cut them some slack since it is Shane's first day. The kids head to class and Shane stays to talk to Claire. She offers him a coffee, which he thankfully accepts. Claire explains that she is aware of the situation with the family. She also reveals that she was in the Navy and they bond a little over this. He then asks her permission to stick around and watch over the kids during the day, which Claire grants. He stays at the school, monitoring each of them closely. Zoe is at her cheerleading practice. Seth and Lulu are in class, and Peter and Tyler are on the playground with him. During lunch break, Shane sees a group of bullies pushing Seth around and decides to get involved. He gets in the middle, telling them to stop it. At this time, the VP, Dwayne, shows up and makes a joke about the situation. He sides with the bullies and tells Shane that boys will be boys. Shane argues, saying that they are 6 and Seth is alone, but Dwayne insists they should not get involved. Dwayne then starts talking about his success in wrestling class and challenges Shane to face him in it. But Shane declines, saying that he is on duty. Dwayne makes a joke about him being on duty, calling him a babysitter. After this encounter, Shane sits on the bench with the crying Tyler. He doesn't know what he is supposed to do, and Claire approaches asking what is wrong. Shane asks if she can teach him how to take care of a baby because he is confused about taking care of Tyler. Suddenly, his alarm for one of the tracking devices on the kids blares. Shocked, he tells Claire that it is an emergency and leaves Tyler with her while she sits confused, watching him leave. Shane gets into the minivan and drives, following the tracker on his device. The tracker stops at a construction site, and it shows that it is underground. Without hesitation, Shane opens the lid and goes down the ladder. He sees a red light from the bracelet inside the waste and jumps into it, only to find the bracelet alone. He comes back home covered in waste. There is a note along with the bracelet that says, "Ha ha ha." Claire is also in the house after dropping the kids off. When she sees Shane coming in, she says goodbye to the kids and Shane and prepares to leave. She awkwardly tells Shane that they are only kids and that he should let this go. After she leaves, Shane goes to the shower to wash the waste off of him. After his shower, he goes to the living room and opens the fridge with only a towel around his waist. He then hears giggles and turns to see little girls in scout uniforms with Lulu. He demands to speak with Lulu in private and asks who the girls are. She tells him they are her troop, and they are there to sell cookies. He tells her that they can't stay there, but Lulu insists, saying that their mothers aren't available and they have to sell the cookies to afford to go to an event. Shane finally agrees and puts the girls in the van to drive them to where they will sell their cookies. Meanwhile, Zoe is on the phone with her mother talking about Shane. Zoe tells her mother he is a little weird, but okay, and asks when she is coming back. After a while, Zoe hangs up the phone saying she needs to go do her homework. The girls set their table to sell their cookies, but suddenly, the Boy Scouts start walking toward them. The girls are scared of them, and when the boys reach their table, they take the cookie carton and drop it on the ground. Then they scare the girls, making them run away from there. When Shane comes back, Lulu and the girls aren't there. Then he sees his alarm beeping and rushes to where Lulu is. When he asks what happened, Lulu tells him the boys broke their cookies. Shane tells her that the tracking device is not a toy, and that she can't trigger it for everything. He reminds her that he is there to protect her, not the cookies. He then orders the girls to get in the van because he is taking them home. But one of them tells him that he can't take them home just yet because he needs to get them something to eat first. With no other option, Shane agrees to take them to a place they usually go, and the girls have something to eat. After this, they all huddle in the car and drive to the house while singing. Suddenly, their peace is disrupted when Shane notices that Peter is not in the car. Shocked, he swerves the car and starts driving back to where they were. When he gets back to the cafe, he finds Peter in a ball pit. But when he pulls him out, his diaper is still inside the ball pit, and he has to go pull that out. Later that night, Shane and Lulu return to the house. The house is filled with Zoe's friends, and she has thrown a party. Shane goes inside and stops the music. He then announces that the party is over, and before they leave, they must clean the place spotless. The kids try to run away, but Shane catches up to Scott and threatens him, making everyone change their minds about running away. The kids start cleaning the house, and Shane walks around looking for anything they missed. He then looks at a CD he finds with Ghost written on it. Unbeknownst to him, two people from outside are watching him. After everyone leaves, Zoe confronts Shane, saying that what he did will make her the school freak. She continues, saying that the family is already going through a lot and his presence is making everything worse. Shane tells her that he will go when their mother comes back and orders them to go to sleep. While this is going on, they hear a breaking sound from downstairs and they all go there. Suddenly, two masked people break the window and get inside the house. Shane reacts quickly and starts fighting with them. He orders the kids to go to their room while he stays behind to fight. Lulu comes back with a broom to give him so that he can use it as a weapon, but he quickly pushes her inside a room and goes back to the fight. Despite them being two and having enough weapons, Shane overpowers them and they are forced to retreat. He then lets the kids out of the room they are in, telling them it is safe. Shaken, they ask who the people are and why they attacked the house. Lulu hugs Shane, asking him not to leave them. Shane explains that the people are after the program their father made. He then takes out the CD from his pocket and shows it to them. They all sit to watch the CD. Shane puts the CD in the computer, hoping it is the program, but when the CD plays, it turns out to be a movie called Ghost. Zoe asks Shane if there are really people out to get them, and Shane tells her there are and that to protect them, they must listen to what he says. The next day, Shane takes Zoe for her driving license class. She is very nervous and unable to drive properly. Suddenly, she sees a bee and starts driving erratically, causing the car to crash into other parked cars. In the principal's office, Dwayne stands, making the situation seem more serious than it should be. Shane explains that the insurance will cover the damage costs, but Dwayne tells him that the instructor had to jump out of the car. He then tells him that they aren't there to talk about Zoe, but about Seth. Seth is skipping class and is called to the office. Dwayne orders Seth to take off his hood, and Seth does as he is told. He has dyed his hair blonde. Dwayne then reveals a Nazi armband he found in Seth's locker. Claire starts talking, saying that they understand their father's death is hard and that the school had tried to make them talk to the school's therapist, but the Nazi armband is a big deal. The family goes back home, and Shane asks Seth to open up to him. He asks him why he joined the wrestling team, only to skip it. Seth tells him his father forced him to join that team. He then asks Shane not to get involved in his life and walks into the house. Shane follows him to his room, but only finds the tracker on the bed. Then he sees Seth running on the streets through the window. Without wasting any time, Shane runs outside and gets on a bike to chase after him. Seth stops at a theater and goes inside. Shane follows him and sees Seth on stage dancing with a woman. It is an amateur production of The Sound of Music, and Seth is playing the role of Rolf. Seth and the woman can't perform the act correctly. The director, losing patience over the repetitive failure, decides to quit. Shane approaches Seth, trying to comfort him. He asks him if they can go home, but Seth tells him he is not going to give up. Seeing that the play is important to Seth, Shane decides to intervene. He orders the actors to gather and starts giving commands for training, taking charge as the director. Later that night, Shane reads a bedtime story to Lulu, and she falls asleep listening to him. Shane continues telling her the story even after she has fallen asleep. Seth then comes and tells him that Peter is not able to sleep because he doesn't sleep without a song their father wrote for him. Shane is supposed to sing it for him while he dances so that Peter can sleep. The next morning, Shane tells Zoe she is driving and gives her the car key. She hesitates, saying that she didn't pass the test, but Shane encourages her. She reluctantly takes the key and gets in the driver's seat. Miraculously, they manage to reach the school without crashing, despite her horrible driving. At school, Claire approaches Shane and tells him that there is a significant change in the plumber kids, and she encourages him to keep up the good work. As she walks away, Shane calls out from behind and tells her she looks good. Dwayne brings Seth to Shane, telling him that he has skipped class again. He starts complaining about Seth's behavior, and Seth tells him he is quitting. Dwayne reprimands him for being a quitter, and Seth explains that he is quitting wrestling to join acting class. Dwayne makes fun of him, saying Seth is acting this way because there is no male figure in the house. Seth angrily tells him that he is the man of the house. Shane interrupts their argument and asks Dwayne for a wrestling match in front of the entire school. They schedule it for later that day and meet up in the gym. Dwayne starts his show of bluster, but Shane is strong and skilled. He easily defeats Dwayne and even makes fun of him in front of the students. After this, Shane starts teaching Lulu and the other girls in her scout troop how to defend themselves. He learns how to put on a diaper properly, teaches Zoe how to drive, assists Seth with his dance, and helps Peter sleep. Their progress seems fruitful as the kids, including Shane, start getting better at what they are attempting to achieve. At night, Shane sings the Peter Panda song for Peter to make him sleep. As he is tucking him in, Peter calls him Daddy. Shane is startled, says goodbye, and leaves. The next day, as Lulu and her troop are selling their cookies, the Boy Scouts arrive to bully them. But this time, they don't falter. Using their training from Shane, they beat the boys and tie them to a pole. Shane sees this through a security camera in the supermarket and rushes outside to see the girls standing victorious next to the boys. After this, they all get in the car and go back home, singing. Meanwhile, in Zurich, Julie and Captain Bill still haven't gotten the box. Captain Bill tells the people there that it is a matter of national security, but there is nothing they can do without the password. Suddenly, Julie remembers something and asks if it is My Angel, and she is right. They are granted access to the box and find a device inside. Back at the house, Zoe is sitting outside crying. Shane approaches and asks what is wrong. He asks if it is about Scott, and she tells him it is not, but Shane was right about him. Shane then starts sharing his childhood story. When he was little, his mother left, and his father, who was a soldier, shipped him to a military school. One day, he gets a letter about the death of his father. After that, he used to wonder if talking about it would feel like letting him down. So he decides to keep it in and stay strong. He then tells Zoe that it is okay to talk about her father. Zoe tells him that she misses her father but wants to be strong for her siblings and mother. After saying this, she breaks down in tears and Shane hugs her to comfort her. Later, Julie tells Shane she is coming back, and he tells the kids. They are all excited and start planning what to do to welcome her. Shane looks at them happily. He then goes to the garage and sees that the duck is stuck. He tries to help it and discovers a hidden compartment there. He opens it and finds a steel vault. He then calls Captain Bill and tells him that he found Ghost, but that it needs some sort of key to open it. Captain Bill tells him that they are coming there and to wait for them in the house until they arrive, then hangs up the call. Shane shares this news with the kids. He tells them that once he gives this to his boss, he will be done with his mission. This makes Lulu sad because it will mean Shane is going to leave. Shane tells them that their mother is coming anytime soon, so they should get ready, and the kids go to their bedrooms to change. Captain Bill and Julie come to the house. Julie is telling Bill that the place is probably a mess, but when they come in, it is spotless, and there's a banner that says, "Welcome Mom," along with music. The kids and Shane are waiting for her. Captain Bill and Shane go to talk in the garage, and as they are talking, they are ambushed by the two ninjas from before, who arrive and pull off their masks, revealing themselves as the Chuns, the plumber's North Korean next-door neighbors. Shane fights both of them, but in a shocking twist, Captain Bill hits him from behind. It turns out Captain Bill is a double agent working with the Chuns. After Bill ties up and gags the children, Mr. Chun holds them hostage in the playroom, while Bill and Mrs. Chun take Julie down to the vault. They open the door using the key that they acquired from Zurich. But when they try to walk in, there's apparently a dangerous security system that burns Mrs. Chun's hair and eyebrows. The children take down Mr. Chun and wake Shane. He tells them to get help while he goes to the vault to help Julie. The kids go into the car and Zoe starts driving. Mr. Chun follows them in Bill's car. He keeps following them, but they finally manage to make him crash. Seeing Zoe's driving, the cops start following their car. Shane goes to the vault and realizes that the way to pass the security system is by doing the Peter Panda dance. He successfully manages to get past all the traps and turns the system off. Bill then tells him to open the door to the safe, but changes his mind and asks Mrs. Chun to open it. She refuses, and they start arguing. Using this distraction, Shane launches an attack on both of them and manages to overpower them. They open the safe and find Ghost inside. Zoe leads the cops to their house, but Mr. Chun arrives and holds all of them at gunpoint. Shane notices Claire right behind him, having followed the chase when she saw it pass by the school. Chun, with the help of the family pet duck, Gary, and Claire, knocks him unconscious. After this, Bill and the Chuns are arrested. Lulu comes and gives Shane a picture of their family, telling him not to forget her, and he promises that he never will. He then tells the family they have one last mission, and they all attend Seth's musical show in the theater. While the challenges he faced were tough, his discipline and determination made him pass all of them. The Plumber Kids' journey emphasizes the value of trust, teamwork, and finding strength in unity. Their story reminds us that true courage lies not just in fighting battles, but in learning to care for and protect others. In the end, Shane Wolf learned that the best weapon isn't a military device, but the strength of a family working together. He went from a hardened soldier to a trusted father figure, proving that real courage is about protecting the people you care about most. What was your favorite moment in the movie? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.